I also would like to remark that this next one is for a person whose name is Jake. What his last name was, I think it was Jake. No, I still don't remember. Jake from Clackamas, a food recycling factory, who was a manager. It is that I said that I love you to him, but it is also true that I did not desire him, nor I think that he did desire me, though he felt that urge to smoke himself because I was one of the females. I do not predict that we in adoration and or desire would ever from now on toward the future out desire others and or outlove others, and this is mostly because towards one another we actually were okay working together, and when I left my email he made no effort to email me, which I take as him preferring another activity or being with other women. And so that is why I also felt that way. I did not miss him or I did not seek him, and I was able to actually admire someone else in also individual way, which means for men specific characteristic associated with men being a source of a child, that is looks, and that is also a cause of sexual desire. Once that is realized as not possible, the desire is gone, unless we fool one another, and that is not wanted. Why? Because that can become sexual arts and love for eternity. So why fool one another? That is silly. And so that is why I actually for sure can guarantee that I, Justina Agnieszka Chevalier, I do not desire or love that Jake from Kalakamas Imperfect Foods, and I wish to have that respected, that it is probably also his wish, so do not insinuate otherwise, or push me or another on one another, or use that as an obstacle to prevent work or friendship or any other relationships, if that were the case. I'm not saying that it will be, because as work he also lacked interest, but giving sex as an excuse starts to really grow old, meaning it really is not the case. Same as work with the police at that Oregon police station, the one in Gladstone. Just because I say or do something that presents those persons in superlatives, if that helps these people to have wonderful marriages where people are proud of them, how fantastic. I, however, do not want to be more loving than the person that they have at home or that they date or parade in coffee shops, because I cannot give recommendation letter being a female, be it in medicine or otherwise, to a person to have that spouse desiring that man or woman more. That is not possible to do. I cannot do that for my brother or anybody else. I can be for or against it, meaning during Christmas I will choose a restaurant as opposed to common table, but that's about it. And not because I desire so much a person, because that means that person desires me back and I am then an obstacle, meaning I will go and say I do not want you to marry because I feel like you love me so much that you would not want somebody else. And that is reciprocated, which requires being pursued as a female, not sitting and wondering, oh, did he read my email? Oh my god! He knows what I thought. That is. That is all. That is all fantastic. No, who is he now doing that? That I have to. That I have to listen to loud music. So so that I do not need to prevent that person that person's union each because they don't want to be together, and by accusations they gain freedom. So please don't do that. Okay, please don't do that because if I wanted one of them, there's nothing to guess. I have plenty to say on each and every person as far as when it comes to if I desire love or would ever want that person to be source of his own semen, to have him for life as a reminder of his face as a child that is forever also a reminder of that sex. That is why it needs to be good, okay? That is why no, thank you very much. I do not also want to impede any marriages or relationships and or being impeded by Jake from Kalakamas, even though okay, I did have pure love, non-desirous one for him. And I feel like he smokes a lot and he could, instead of smoking, actually being kissed or hugged or I don't know, have some life, not necessarily with me. Okay? Why is that? Because a man who loves me would want to pursue me, email me, see me. I don't know. I'm sitting here and doing all this. I have all the time in this universe. And no one, not a single person sent me even an email, person one apart from my brother, of course. And so that is why I would like to make sure that this is also in no way criticism. As handsome as whoever else can find him even miraculous as such, I do not find him the most handsome man in the world for sure. And who else I want to reject? I want to for sure guarantee that I will never ever pursue Dr. Funke from UT Houston. I mentioned already all of them. Okay, that's good. Or now Leo Grant. Leo Grant, the person who is a Bahia. I do know he lives in Hawaii. I also know that he and I went out with Elena Thousand and spent some time in the lab for lunch. He is a doctor, and he's a doctor of osteopathy and graduate of residency program and faculty member. Wow, right? To me, this is, I know, maybe really not nice to say, but it is regardless of if he has a girlfriend or not, or if I have someone or not, or if mama or papa or the whole universe is for or against it. This is to say, I just find Leo Grant less than adoring and adore him in similar, less than adoring way in comparison to at least few. And the same is with the desire. I find him less than desiring, and I desire him less than others. And that is not one but some true. For from now on, for life, it will never ever ever change for how mind is constructed, human or an animal one. And I can guarantee that. Therefore, I will not break any weddings of his, any of his engagements, or any of his relationships, or and impede any of his work as work because that person is moral. I do not find that he is actually in any way a bad worker. I think that in Hawaii he's very fortunate to be there, considering the weather and the fact that to apply all persons need to agree on. Everybody, nurses, technicians, everybody needs to agree that the person is a perfect match and the person is hired. And he did so and he matched there. I think that he is indeed a very good doctor. I don't know his work. So if he is doing that, crooked mirror type of medicine, which is possible and not protesting against it, that is beside the point. If licensed, he has to quit. If not protesting, if protesting, he needs to make sure that he's not considered sick, incompetent, or what's the three? Sick, incompetent, or morally despicable, evil, capable of harm, and or being easily harming. That he's neither of the three, because he's not. No one is, because universe is constantly in joy as a natural state, as we can see, being expanding. And so if he's such a wonder, he is to be such wonder and not have crooked mirror impression. Look at medical books if there are inconsistency. Do not quote, do not quote, do not quote, do not quote. And if you have someone, ditch that, do not pretend to be sick. Pursue relationship, have sex, children, make that person feel like there's nothing else in the world and nobody else in the world, and make sure that she feels that way, and there's no need for danger, because danger prevents sex, because the thing needs to be escaping, saving lives, saving self, running to save others, not motionless or in frenetic movement having sex. That's why danger is not compatible. Sex is not danger. If sex is danger, persons avoid emails. Fearing sex, persons confused. Confused. Same with marriage. Confused. Unable to stand me in one room. Escaping. Blaming sex. Confused. Confused. Confused for work, confused for sex, confused for everything. And so that is to remember from me, who is expert in behavior, as we discussed with Dr. Brown, that he does not see me as a GP with my level of expertise. I was very grateful for that remark because it is true. However, I will not sell coffee to be providing more and more money while people die and are unable to use my knowledge. And I'm not gonna give away also living in any room because of being calling incestuous bitch and or robbing whoever it is of money that is above 30 years too, and also whatever it is that my mother or brother are now doing. It is not because I'm lazy, as they can see, so they can obtain gratitude of the whole universe for the fact that I can do these videos, and maybe some, not necessarily these ones, unless I use them as personal example, which makes me feel so much in union with the police of the United States that maybe even too much. Such is research. What can you do? When will I stop being like this kind of a true man? I don't know, but this needs to be done for me. For me. Okay? Now, Tata, next will come. So we're clear on Jake and also on Leo, and also I think that's from the United States, that's it.